everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Guests today is a man I had never heard of even a month ago. Before the Arnold Classic this year, I had no idea who Kamal Elgargni was. And Giles was telling me at the show, wait till you see this guy. He's unbelievable. He could win the show. And I'm like, whatever, Giles. You know, I figured if I've never heard of him, he can't be that good, right? Well, I was wrong. Giles was right. Joining us today is from the UK, originally from Libya, Kamal Elgargni. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
No worries, man. No worries, Ryan. How are you?
Good. Now, how do you say your last name? I hope I'm not butchering it.
Elgargni, that's right. Yeah, you do. You're saying it right.
Okay, cool. So I always start at the very beginning. What was your early life like? You grew up in Tripoli or in capital city?
Yeah. I grew up in Tripoli, and I stayed in Libya till 2000 and 1994 actually. In 1994, I left from Libya to Malta, and then I stayed for 2.5 years, and then I moved to England since '97 till now.
Okay, so what was your early life in Libya like? Were you into sports? What were you like as a kid?
Well, to be honest, I've always wanted to do a sport because of my dad, because background with my dad's business. My daddy owns like a joinery business, which is to do with furniture, wood, and wood doors, windows. We manufacture all this in Libya. Okay. So I was like working with my dad. I've always wanted, to be honest, it wasn't my hobby, the taekwondo, the bodybuilding as well, like the karate, taekwondo, always with the old days with like Bruce Lee and watching all these things. So that's what I always wanted to do. Yeah. But with my dad, he says like school first, and then you have to learn a trade, which is after when we finish like work. It's most of the actually karate clubs they shut quite early, and the only thing I found, which is the gyms, which stays till late. So that's the only choice I had.
Oh, wow. So you did end up getting a degree. What did you end up studying in college?
I was doing like I was doing like the maths and the accountants. Okay. Yes, accountant degrees. Yes.
Okay. Did you ever work in any field related to that or no?
No, I never worked. Since I finished like my diploma, I moved to Malta, and I started like, when you move from your own country, it's not easy. I had a very, very hard life. Just one day I said, I did compete once in Libya, which is in '94. I did competition, which is Mr. Libya, as a first show. So I won that show, and the guy, he trained me in Libya, and he said to me, by your physique, he used to live in Germany. He used to do WABA bodybuilding champions, whatever. He's a world champion or whatever with WABA. Yeah. And he told me, with your physique, I think you could do very well in the future. So I said, okay. And I did first show. He prepped me at the first show. I won my first show in Libya after like a year training. And then I said, that's it. This is me. I'm going to move away. And I'm going to try to find bodybuilding, even like in Libya. Then is really, the bodybuilding there is very small, and it's nothing that we can do much. So I just put it in my mind. I said, the next step to me, I have to move to Malta, and then from Malta, I'll see what I can do, and that's what I did.
So when you started going to the gym and lifting weights, did you know about bodybuilding? Did you want to be a bodybuilder, or was it just a way to keep fit?
To be honest, I didn't know. I've got my cousin, he is actually used to go, and he said to me, why you don't come with me to the gym? I mean, they said, I wanted to do any sports. I just want to do something to keep fit. Yeah. And I went with him, and I started training slowly. But I kept it serious. Like I kept it like, with me always when I'm a kid, if I do something, I do it properly. Even my dad, he tells me when he gives me any job, like for example, we do like fitting windows or fitting kitchen or fitting anything. So when my daddy gives me, say, okay, that house, Kamal, you're gonna do that house. So he gives it to me. I make sure, and he knows that I finish it completely. I don't leave anything behind. So I do things, I do it properly, and I take it seriously. I think this is what helped me with my training. When I took that bodybuilding, when I start training, after like that guy sees me, and he said, you could do something, you could do that. So after I've been training, after like finish my work, just go to the gym, do my training, go back home, try and ask him what's happening, what's with the supplement, how I could eat, some diet and everything. He gives you a little bit, the back days, there's not much supplement, as you know.
Oh yeah.
Only the casein or whatever, like the casein, which is
Yeah.
we buy it from the pharmacies. It's a very, very difficult, but it's like training. Always trained properly. I've always like wanted to be something. So
Okay. Now I have to. When I grew up, and I'm a couple years older than you, and I remember, especially during the '80s, all we ever knew about Libya here in the USA was there was this crazy guy named Muammar Qaddafi who was in charge of the country, and
yeah.
everybody in the world was afraid of him, and we thought everybody in Libya was, in being terrorized by this man. Was it? How bad was it? Because you were there living. You were living in Libya during that time, right?
Well, to be honest, the thing is, yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, Qaddafi, when he took over from the king, which is Al Sanusi, he was at the beginning, it's okay, and then it's unbelievable, man. We had a really, even at that time I was young, my dad, we had, because if you own a business or if you own, like, for example, he came up with the rules, with the laws. It's very, very difficult. For example, if you had like, for example, as an agency, which is you rent cars, okay? You rental as a letting cars. It will come, they will say, with the laws. So if you rent a car, you're not allowed anymore. Whoever is driving that car, you mean you're gonna own that car. So they say like, if you rent houses, so the house is not yours anymore. Wherever the Libyans who's been rented that house,
Yeah.
that house belongs to you now.
Wow.
So he took everything from from the family. I mean, he took the business from my dad. It's not just my dad. He took everything. We just got our properties and our lands after the revolution, which has just happened after 45 years.
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he was crazy. I mean, even when I was in England here, I was competing, like I was doing the bridge when I win any shows. So they ring me from Libya, any radios, any interview, like now we interview. They ring me like 5 minutes before we go on live. They would say, "Listen, you have to thank Gaddafi for every support," and I never supported me.
Wow.
They say, "Thank Gaddafi for this, thank Gaddafi for that." Once I'm in a car with my guy, he's working with me, he's a driver, and he said to me, "Why are you mentioning Gaddafi?" He said, "That's it, we have to do that. If we're not, when we go back home, we're going to be hammered."
Wow. Okay. So I have to thank Giles Thomas. Of course, you've known Giles for about 20 years now.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I have to thank him because these questions I'm asking you today, I got to be honest, Giles came up with pretty much all of them for me because he knows so much about you. So Giles, you give me another solid thank you. So you moved to the UK in 1997. You started competing in 2001 over there, is that right?
I started competing a bit earlier, which is in 98 and 99. I started competing in 98. So I did the Midland then, and then I'm not allowed because I'm not being more than 6 months at the in England. So I have to have like a permanent resident and everything. So they've told me you cannot, after 1 year, you're allowed as a student. So I said, okay. So after that, the year after 19, and then I competed again at the Midland. So I won the Midland, and then I qualified me to England, to the Britain final. So I didn't compete that year because I had like a small little accident, so stopped me. And then 2000, I did the Midland. So I won the Midland. I did the Britain. I won the Britain, and I did the the Midland and the Britain. So I won that 2001 as well. Yeah. I did it again. So I did that, and then I've qualified to do the NABA World, and I did the Universe as well. Yeah. And I won the overall, actually, NABA European and the NABA World, and I won my class at the Universe. Right. You said Franco Male, the Italian guy, won that year. But so I guess he was with you. Giles traveled with you in his business. He worked for John Citrone. John Citrone, that's right. Yeah. Mattress. So I guess you guys all went to Greece together. Thessaloniki in 2002, where you won the class and the overall at the NABA Worlds. He said nobody even noticed you backstage because they were all big guys, but you ended up beating everybody. You stepped on stage and blew them all away, he says. He remembers that you guys went to a Greek restaurant afterwards, and you drank 2 cans of Diet Coke in about 2 minutes.
because you had no fluid for 2 days, and this was in 100-degree temperatures over in Greece at the time. So how did you even, first of all, how did you even manage to stay alive for 2 days with no fluids in 100 degrees?
Well, I mean, as you know, the old days. I mean, I'm really, really careful with taking any, kind of like medicines and all that.
Yeah.
It's like I've always scared of the taking the diuretics and all
Diuretics,
that.
yeah.
As I know, Benaziz at that time when he died, and you hear about things. I said, but the reason, so I say I'll stop drinking water is better than I just take any diuretics. So I've never ever took diuretics in my life. Never.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, never. I've always stopped drinking water, so I'll prepare myself earlier. Always give myself 6 months for my preparation to
6
take
months.
it slow. Yeah, 6
Wow.
months for my shows. When I start prep for my first show, and then I gave myself time so to be relaxed. I don't have to think about like, do I get ready in this time or not? So 6 months always worked with me, and I feel like sometimes I don't even have to cut my salt. I don't have to cut my. I don't have to even carb up. I'm ready. Just like cut my water and that's it. That's the only thing I do. 2.5 days. Cut the water. I'm ready.
Okay, I mean I guess that's not really as dangerous because diuretics. I've known
Exactly.
friends of mine who've had very bad experiences just competing at the regional level and the national level here with diuretics. So I guess you did the right thing. So let's see. So Giles said after that show in 2002, he asked you if you'd be interested in doing an IFBB show in Wales run by Paul Grant. Paul was in Pumping Iron, for those of you who recall the movie. He was one of the greatest bodybuilders ever out of Wales, passed away a few years ago. So he offered you a pro card and a brand new car if you won. And you did won. You won that. You won Best Presentation Award and a cash award that Giles had a website back then called UK Muscle sponsored. So what did that turn you pro in? What organization?
Well, I mean, like what I said, because I'm always around with the NABA guys. So Giles asked me. I said, okay. So Saturday I did the Pro-Am Oscar, because what we do, we trying to get any shows that has got some money. As you know, back days there's not much money as involved. There's really very little. So we do the shows, which is where it's what they call it, where is some prize money. So at the Saturday we did the in Birmingham. We did the Pro-Am, Oscar Pro-Am, which is like an open world show. So I come second in that. So I got a grand £1,000 for winning prize. And then I drove straight away to Wales to that show, which is Giles invited me to. And actually, yes, that's with the IFBB. I saw the judges, which is, I think is, what's her name? The Payandala. She's one of the pro. She's one of the English Arnold friends. She's a pro.
Yeah, the couple that he used to stay at their house back in the old days.
Exactly right. He stays in her house when he comes here to England. Bennett, something.
Yeah, Wag Bennett and Diane Bennett. Yep.
Exactly right. Yep, that's the one. Yep. And she saw me. She said to me, "Wow, you got a really nice physique. Like, I think your physique, it's the IFBB physique. That's the physiques was." I said, "Wow, is it?" I didn't know what do I say. But maybe yes, maybe no, and I didn't know nothing. So we did. Yes, I did compete, and I won that show, and I got offered the pro card, and I won the car, which was Citroen Saxo, brand new car. Drove away with that car. I've been hated that day because I won everything. Yeah.
He says something happened to the car that night, though.
To be honest, the next day when I drove back home, I parked my car outside, and somebody went into the car and broke into the car.
Oh, man.
Said, oh my God, it's a brand new car. So I took it to the insurance because the car is insured. They took it away. The guy from when they fixed the car insurance, he said to me, "Will you sell it?" I said, to be honest, after what happened to it, I am selling. He said, "I'm looking for a car for my wife." Yeah. So I've sold it. If I'm not mistaken, it's about $5.5 grand, which is I've sold it. And then from then, to be honest, when I got some cash on me and I started to do a little bit of business. So with that cash, I said I have to do something to help me to get better and better. So me and my friend, we got in a partner. We open a takeaway shop. We do pizza, takeaway, and kebabs and all that.
Okay.
So started with that money, started me up, to be honest.
Okay. So we thought that this Arnold Classic was your first pro show in the IFBB, but I guess 15 years ago you did do one show, and I was there. I'm sorry to say I don't remember you, because that was when it was still called the Night of Champions. It's now the show in that area and time is called New York Pro, but for many years it was Night of Champions. I think this was one of the last years it was called Night of Champions. Victor Martinez won.
Exactly right, yeah.
How did you end up competing in that show in the first
Well,
place?
the thing is, you see, because with me, I didn't know nothing about the IFBB, the IFBB Pro.
Yeah.
So in that show was the what they call it, the cameraman. He's Wayne Galash.
Yeah.
Wayne Galash. He said to me, Kamal, I think there is a Night of Champion. I know the promoter, and he will invite you. You go and compete. You will do very well. Blah blah. I said, well, I don't know how. He said, don't worry, I'll speak to him. To be honest, he spoke to him. They sent me the ticket. They invited me to that show. They paid for everything.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I remember me and who's the guy from England. We went together to compete. He was competing as well. He's short guy. God, oh God, his name. I'll remember his name. So we went over there. For me, I don't know nothing. So like what I said, Victor Martinez.
Yep.
It was Great Titus. Was King Kamali.
Yeah.
It was who's the guy? He come fifth. Anyway, they are Milos Sajev.
Yeah.
The big names over there.
It was a big show.
Yeah, very. It's about 42 competitors that day.
Yep.
So we walked in. To be honest, like we haven't been on stage. It's like we're not there. So the judges came in. Victor Martinez, the big name, blah blah blah. They got their comparison. Top. The rest go home. Bye bye. I'm finished.
Yeah.
So I said, if that's the pro, oh sorry, I don't want to be at the pro. Like winning all the world champion, amateur, and everything. You not even get like a chance to be look at it. It to me said, oh no, it's not me. And you see, like I was like 77 kilo when I won that, because I was competing under not 80 kilo.
Yeah.
And these guys like 100 plus, and that man said, no, this is not my game.
Because this is this is about 8 years before, about 7 or 8 years before the 202, 212 class.
212, yes, 212, yes,
You're a
yes.
175-pound guy back then. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. But that actually, that's the year that you got invited to become part of the Qatar. Is it Qatar? National
Qatar,
team?
exactly right. Exactly right. So I got invited by the Qatar national team. They have, because as you know, Qatar, as a new on the sport, they invite everybody there, and they hold in the Asian Games. The Asian Games 2006.
Yep.
So they need to get as much medal as they can, and they managed to get bodybuilding in the Olympic Games, in the Asian Olympic Games. Yes, it was part of it. So because it's holding in Qatar, and Qatar government, they said we have to put the bodybuilding on the Asian Games, which they did. So they started working early to get some competitors. So there is a Libyan coach. He used to be training the Qatari team. I don't know him. I never knew him because I was leaving. I think he was leaving in. He was leaving in like some of the South American countries, and I never knew him. So he ran Libya, and he said to my coach Dan, the old coach in Libya, he said, "Is there any Libyans that you think they are high level? They could get world champion, or they said in Libya there is nothing. There is only one. He already lives in England, and he's already world champion.
Yeah.
And I don't think he will take the offer."
Yeah.
Because he's just at that time. I just opened the gym, like I said to you. I've got the shop. I just started doing my business as well. So he said, "But we will call him, maybe." So they called me. I said, "Okay." where is Qatar? I never heard of Qatar. We only hear about Al Jazeera channel from Qatar.
I don't know
That's
where Qatar is.
well, it's in the Middle East, which is that we know now in Middle
Right.
East. And then he said, "Will you come to be like part?" I said, "Listen, I don't think so." He said, "Just come do a guest spot. There is a show here now in April, I think, just before, after the Night of Champion." He said, "There is a show. Just come and do a guest spot for us." I said, "Okay." So they sent me tickets and everything. So I went over there. They see me as a short guy with my jacket. Oh, is he going to be a guest spot? Yeah. So I was wearing like always covered up. I don't like to wear like tank tops or whatever. Always covered. And I went. They've called me backstage to be ready and to get my tan. Everything's done. So to do my guest spot. And then when I finished my show, the chairman of Qatar team, he came backstage. He said, "When you finish, I wanna." So he walked me out, and we walked me out like at the coffee shop. He said, "Listen, we want you with our team." After he sees me, and he knew like I could do something, whatever. After he knows what's all about.
Yeah.
He said, "We need you with our team." I said, "Listen, okay, fair enough, you need me, but I have to speak to my dad. It's my dad. He has to give me the permission because I do help my dad still when I'm even in England. I help him with buying the raw materials, and so I'm still helping my dad."
Yeah.
And he said, "Okay, we will speak to your dad." So I spoke to my dad. I said, "Listen, this guy, he wants to speak to you about me moving to Qatar to be with the Qatari team." He said to me, "Why? Are you not happy in England?" I said, No. He said, "If you're not happy, you always wanted you before anybody else. We always wanted to be back home."
Yeah.
I said, "Not that. It just this guy, he's offered me something, but I need to take your permission. If you're happy, it's fair enough. If you're not happy, I'll leave it."
Yeah.
So he spoke to him, he was telling him, like, "We're going to give Kamal this, we're going to give him that salary." He said, "Don't speak about money to me. If his Kamal is not happy, it's not everything is money." So he was
Yeah.
shocked, like, "Don't talk about money." But he said, "Try with them 1 year. If you're happy, it's fair enough. If you're not, you never sign a contract. Always your contract has to be free. You leave when you want, and they can tell you to leave at any time they want. So don't be tight." I said, "Okay." That's what I did with my contract. And to be honest, since then I was competing with Qatar from 1993 till 2011, to 2003 till
2011.
2011, and I've seen all the good things from them. They're a good friend of mine till now. I had a really relationship with the vice president there, with some trainers. That's where I met actually my coach at the moment, Chris Asiro, because he was
Yeah.
because in 1994 when they opened the Qatar Federation, Chris Asiro and Samir Banu, they got invited with Dorian Yates, with a lot of big guys then invited to Qatar. So, and my training partner, which is Jassim Abdullah,
Yeah.
he was very close to Samir Banu when he met him, to Samir Banu, and then with Chris, and then he introduced me to Chris, and we was asking Chris from then if we need anything, and Chris, he remembers every single photo I used to send him. So now become like, yeah.
Wow. So, I remember I interviewed Sami Al-Haddad a couple times, and he explained why it makes so much more sense for him for many years to remain an amateur because the company was, he was being taken care of financially pretty well, where, he had a salary, he had a house, cars, everything was paid for just so he could represent the country in international competition. Whereas once you're a pro, you're kind of on your own, and then you got to hopefully get sponsorships and that, but it's hard. A lot of pros don't make any money. So financially, did it make a lot more sense for you all those years? Because you won, my goodness. I could go on for like an hour here. 2003, Asian amateurs, middleweights, world amateurs, you did the middleweights and won. 2004, you won the middleweights again at the Asian amateur. 2005, you won it again. Then you won the middles at the world amateur. The world games, you won the middleweight. On and on and on. You won your class, and you won the overalls at the Asians in 2013 and the Mediterraneans. Wow, I mean, you won like every big title over there many, many times. You qualified to be a pro. How many times do you think before you
Oh God, I've qualified every year. I do get qualified every year. I mean, I won when when you win the Asian champion, you'll get qualified. When you win the world champion, you get qualified. So I won the Asian champion with Qatar from 2003 till 2011 on the road every year.
Nice.
And I won about 7 times world champion with Qatar. And I won the World Games. I won the Arnold Classic Amateur. I won twice, and I won everything. The thing is that people, they said to me, "Why you don't turn a pro?"
Right.
Okay, to turn a pro, even like to sign a contract with any other. I remember once when I did the Arnold Classic Amateur, I got offered with Samir Benoit, because I'm really good friend with Samir Benoit as well, and Samir, he got me a sponsorship. So I said, speak to the chairman, the vice president of Qatar. He's with me. If he's happy, we could do something. So when he was speaking to him, I told him, with the sponsorship, you have to travel, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Right.
And it's like, when they offered me, it's not a big deal. I mean, I'll tell you something now. With the Qatar Federation and the government, when I win the world champion, I get $70,000 as a prize money.
Wow, they would give you bonuses.
Yeah, you will win that, but you have to win. And then you got your own salary, which is the salary I used to get from the Olympic Committee, and then bonuses from you are a world champion. You get another salary as well.
Yeah.
Plus you got house allowances. You get every single thing. You don't have to spend anything.
Wow.
Tax free.
Wow.
There's no tax free. So my winning prize. So for example, I'll say world champion is 70,000. The Asian champion is 30,000. The Qatar Golden Cup. There's a Qatar Golden Cup. They do that. The prize money is an amateur show, which is a very, very, very big show. You get most of the world champion guys. They come there for money. I mean, even the year 2010 when Rami just come out. Rami, he was competing there, but I wasn't competing that year.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the guys from world champion, IFBB world champion, they come for the money. So that price as well is $30,000 as well. Plus, if I do like the Arnold Classic, which is not listed in the Olympic Committee, but still, if you win any shows you compete, you will definitely have some prize money.
Wow.
So when you count, you will get like prize money is around $170,000 plus your salary. I mean, my salary reach up to, I will say, maybe 15 grand a month.
Nice.
15,000 a month. So why do I turn a pro? Once when I was speaking to Flex Lewis, Flex Lewis, when I was he's a good friend of mine, Flex. So I was speaking to him. He said, "Kamal, why you don't?" So I told him what's all this a story. He said to me, "Will you find me a job over there?"
He wanted to be on the Qatar team.
Yeah.
Oh man. And you also keep. You still have an import-export business, or you did? You ship supplements all over the Middle East.
Yes, we do the. I mean, to be honest with me, I'm always trying to find something else to help. So we do supplement, we do gym equipment, which is I do in Libya as well. I have my own gyms back home in Libya. So I've always tried to get something with my my training and my bodybuilding. As you know, bodybuilding, we could spend a lot of money. Yes, if you have to make some money as well. There's something there you have to be to help you as well.
Yeah, something to fall back on, as we say.
Exactly.
You've done better than I would say, by being an amateur all those years, you've done better than more than 90% of all the pros I've ever known.
Exactly right. So that's why it doesn't make sense if I leave that and then I go to the pro, and what I'm gonna get. So I'll leave an amateur, stay where I am. I'm living a life as a pro in Qatar. It's a pro life. It's better than the pros, to be honest. Because I don't do nothing. The only things I do, just train and eat, and that's it. That's the only thing. And I don't have to worry about anything else. Finance-wise, they have to care about everything, from A to Z. Wow. I mean, it definitely. I would say Qatar. They the one actually created or made me the way I am at the moment.
Okay, so I guess Giles said you moved back to the UK. Was it 2013 or 2014 with your family?
Yes.
You have how many? 4 children?
I have 4 children, yes. 3 boys and a girl.
What are the ages, if I can ask?
Yeah, my oldest son is 13, and then 10, 6, and 2.
Okay, so they're all still kind of young. So you opened up a gym in 2014?
Yes, when I came back here, because I said I have to do something, which is I used to have a house, my own house in Qatar.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, now I'm not staying in Qatar. So I sold my house in Qatar, got some cash, came here. I said, for me, I have to do something. I don't want to just, because my house here in England is still, it was like, I kept my house here in England because I knew one day I'm coming back.
Oh.
So I've got my own house. And I said, I have to do something. So the gym I used to train years back here in England, which is Better Bodies Gym, one of the oldest gyms in town.
Yeah.
It's quite good size, about 8,000 square feet. But the owner, he said to me, I've heard like you're gonna open a gym. I said, yes, I'm gonna open a gym. I'll have to find something. And he said to me, I'm thinking to sell mine if you want the business and everything. I said, okay. So we agreed to the price and everything. So I bought the gym from him and refurbished the whole lot. I bought everything, brand new stuff. The gym is like completely different at the moment, and it slowly increased the members and everything. I'm doing okay. I'm doing very good.
Yeah, I was actually looking because I looked on your Facebook page and there was a link to your gym, the Better Bodies Northampton. Is that where it is?
Northampton, that's right. Yeah.
It has its own Facebook page, and you have some pictures of the gym there. It's pretty sweet. You got a lot of space and a lot of good equipment.
Yeah. We filled that with all like pre-core, like, and everything is brand new stuff. Everything is like the way it should be. Yeah.
Okay, so at some point there, you decided you did want to take your IFBB Pro card, because now there was a 212 division, but you didn't get on a pro stage in the IFBB until 2018. So what happened in between there? What took so long? What was the problem?
There is a problem.
Yeah.
The problem is in 2000, and that's when I finished after the revolution. When I finished with Qatar, as the last show I did with them, 2011.
Yeah.
2011, which is the Arab Games. At the Arab Games, we had like WADA, which is they call WADA doping control and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Which is again, it's all politics. It's all about, I don't know what's all background of it.
No.
So they've told me, I had a problem, to be honest. The chairman of the Qatar IFBB came to me and said to me, are you ready for a test? I said, yes, I am ready, 100%. I said, okay, but there is something happened. I didn't know what's going on. It's been made up. And I knew afterwards it's being made up. So the police came to me. He said to me, when is the guy, after I won my class, after I won the show, the one I said, you're going to be tested. I said, okay, it's fair enough. We will go in, and the police came to me. He said to me, Kamal, you've hit someone, and he reported you at the police station. I said, what?
What?
I said, what? Me? He said, yeah, he reported at the police station. You have to go with us now. And the guy from WADA, he said, no, but he's for the test. He said to me, they've told him, we are the police. We're going to take him now, and then he's going to come back for the test. So I went with the police guys, and it's been made up for me to escape, to run away from the test. But I said, I'm ready for the test.
Yeah.
He said, well, everybody has to go. This is arrangement between the chairman, the chairman of the IFBB, which is Rafael Sandonga, was there because they had a problem with WADA, and his secretary Adel Fahim. He's the one, he makes the corruption. He's the one who's doing all these kind of bad things. It's all about money.
Yeah.
So he said, no, we're not going to test that. So we went the next day, said, okay, I'm here now. You can test me now. I cannot, if I'm taking anything, it's not going to be avoided in one day.
Right.
Yeah. So he said, no, that's it. It's done now. You claim as a positive. So you're going to be banned. You're going to be this. I said, okay, fair enough. So our chairman, he couldn't do anything. They couldn't do. So who's going to take the blame? The athletes, which is me.
Yeah.
Done that for 2 years. So after these 2 years, we did an appeal. So we did year and a half. So they reduced it for a half. We did year and a half. 2013, I've told Qatar, that's it now. Revolution for Libya. I want to compete for Libya. I'm really sorry. Thanks for all that time being with you. Thank you very much. So I have to compete for Libya. At least I will do something for my country.
Yeah.
And they said to me, no, you can't. The chairman said to me, no, you stay with us. Why not? I said, anyway, first of all, your federation was closed by their like president, by king, whatever. I don't know what's all behind this. So the federation's closed. I said, I cannot stay with you just to get the salary. We here with the winning prize, with the prize money, that's where we make our money. So if not, it's not good for me. So I have to go.
Right.
And he wasn't happy. And I said to him, I'm sorry. So I think he's maybe, I don't know if same or not. So I went to competed, did the world champion. So the first of all, I did the Mediterranean Championship. So I did my class, which is the 90 kilo, and I did the masters. So I won my class, masters. I won the overall show. So I got 3 gold medals for that year.
Wow.
And I did the world champion as well. I won my class, and again the results being changed for the overall. I could have won the overall, but Adil Fahim, he's changed the result. He gave it one of the Egyptian guys. And you guys, you can watch 2013 world champion. You will see as clear as anything who is the overall. So that's it. You got the gold world champion. And then I did the Arab Championship. I won the Arab Championship as well. So I got 5 medals for Libya. And then something happening in 2014, March in 2014. They said, WADA opened your case again, and they're not happy with your appeal, so they're going to ban you for 4 years. I said, okay, they're not happy. Okay, it's fair enough. These 4 years, because I moved here to England, I was busy, so I didn't follow properly. It was finished 2017. So 2017, Adil Fahim and Rafael, they were telling me, WADA, they send another suspension for life. For life, yes. I said, why for life? He said, wow, that's what I said. Okay, give me some paperwork. He said, no, with Qatar. I said, but I haven't competed for Qatar. I'm not with Qatar anymore.
Yeah.
I was with Libya. So why you send the paperwork to Libya? So it's all being made up. It's nothing. What I did, I spoke to Qatar. I've got friends of mine, like what I said. A friend of mine, which is at the Olympic Committee, and I'm really close with the royal family as well. They got me some paperwork from Qatar Federation and from the Qatar Anti-Doping Agency, which is the Olympic Committee. After I checked with them, they said, Kamal is nothing. He's a free from WADA. He's not. So they didn't want me to compete. I don't know why. What I've done to them. I've been helping them so many times. I've held shows in Libya. I was given, like, for an amateur show in Libya, $10,000 for the winner. I was supporting the IFBB, and then it's a shame. That's what they do to you.
Wow.
And then we found out. So I spoke to Rico Barakat, which is with Mr. Jim NBC with Jim Mannion, and I've told him about my life. I've told him what's happening and everything. So he introduced me to Mr. Jim Mannion. And I've told them about everything. So Jim Mannion said to me, could you come to Beachburg? I said, yeah, I can. So I went there. I explained to him everything. I showed him all the paperwork. I've showed him everything. He said, what's going on? And that time, I was preparing. And Rafael is saying to me, keep training, get ready. Because I said, I want to get, they promised me. Do you imagine? I was training for 2 years to get ready to compete at the IFBB Pro League and without anything. Okay, wow. No worries, keep training. So Jim Mannion, he saw me at his office. He said, Kamal, you could win. He said, well, you could be very good. You could be something really, we want you with us. Yeah. Your physique, what we've seen, that's really, so we had a meeting with Rafael, and he said, I need to see every paperwork for Kamal. And he didn't send him any paperwork. And then I got a friend of mine, I was telling him the corruption because I know what they do. Yeah. I was telling them what they do. I was telling them what's happening, what's everything. and he heard something from other people as well. He invited some amateur chairmen from different countries. He invited them, they explain exactly what they do. So he decided to finish with the IFBB. As soon as he's finished with the IFBB Amateur League, he sent me my pro card, and here we go.
The rest is history.
Yes.
Was it? I heard a rumor. You can just say that's ridiculous, but I heard a rumor that you were asked to give $100,000 to clear everything up.
It is. It's not straight away into my face. I've got a friend of mine, which is I've helped him a lot. He is to do with the IFBB now, and I've told him to speak to Rafael, and he did spoke to Rafael, and he said if we open Kamal's case again, we might get a fine with $100,000 with WADA. He said, but if he's able to do that, to pay that money, we can't, because the IFBB, they cannot pay that money. If he can pay that money, we could open his case. So you know what they mean. So if you give
that was just to open your case again. You would have had to give them $100,000.
Yes. I mean, they just need that money to be paid off, and that's it. And I said to them, I don't want you to do. Just give me some paperwork. Give me paperwork that says Kamal has been banned for life, and they haven't gave me anything. Now my lawyer, he's doing the job. He's doing the work. I was in Libya 2 weeks ago after I won my Arnold Classic. So I spoke to the Ministry of Sports in Libya, and I've told them all what's happening, because they don't know about me before, because I was living abroad and everything. I've told them all what's happening, so they are on it big time. They did some paperwork. They said, because even the chairman of the Libyan Federation, he said we haven't received anything from the IFBB Federation that says Kamal has been banned. And I've got documents from Qatar. It says Kamal is not being banned. He's finished his penalty. So why are you guys doing this to me? And now the problem is, even here in England, UKBFF, after I came back from the Arnold Classic, they put in their website, they said the law is behind the tears. So, and they said Kamal has been banned till wherever. And they said from Qatar, anti-doping from Qatar. They haven't said from the WADA International. They said from Qatar. Okay, they put it in Facebook. So what I did, I've got the documents, because they just took, and I've got the documents. I posted that document even to Giles. I said, there's Giles. That's the document, because they took without paperwork. But when I took, I've got paperwork. So since then, I haven't heard anything. And my solicitor, he said to me, keep it quiet. I know what I'm doing. So they're going to hear from my solicitor very soon.
Okay. Let's talk about, let's go to a happier subject. So when did you decide you were going to compete in this year's Arnold Classic?
Well, to be honest, as soon as I received my pro card, because I've got promise from Mr. Jim Mannion, thanks him very much for what he did for me. I mean, this guy, without him, I couldn't be in there. He said, don't worry, Kamal, you're going to be with us. To be honest, even when I spoke to him, when I was preparing for the Arnold Classic last year, and then it didn't happen because of the promises of Rafael Santonga. You're going to be there or whatever.
Well, let me stop you. Were you dieting for a show for 2 years?
Yes.
Oh, just hoping that everything was going to be taken care of?
It's something, exactly, hoping for anything. I mean, imagine, they really killed me. And then when they said the lies behind the tears, because they never dieted that much, they never suffered that much. It's not the lies behind the tears. That's the truth. That's the truth. It's in my heart, because they never ever dieted that much.
Right.
So anyway, that's gone in the past. It's finished. But here I am winning today. So Jim Mannion, like you said to me, send the pro card. I spoke to Chris. I said, Chris, we've got 4 months. You think, can we do it? He said, send me some pictures. So I've sent him some pictures. He said to me, I think we can. I said, okay. So we started dieting, and he knows when I'm start with my diet, I'm really strict. I do 100% what he tells me and everything. So after like 4 weeks, I've sent pictures. He said to me, Kamal, I think we are on it, big time. And he said to me, we're going to win it. I said, come on, Chris, this is too much for me. He said, no, you're improving very fast. I think, he said, you're going to give them a shock. That's what he's telling me, you're going to give them a shock. So I put that in mind. I was training hard, doing everything that I could do. And it's 4 months, 5 months, I think, 4 or 5 months, to be honest. That's when I started from nothing. I was like, after I did the body power last year, I wasn't doing anything until that. So when I get that, the pro card is about, four and a half, maybe 5 months.
So it was we had some really good competitors. You had Jose has won that before. Dave Henry's an excellent competitor. It was a great lineup. And when I saw the lineup, as I said earlier, I saw some names like yours. I wasn't familiar with them. Like this guy will probably be like last or next to last because I never heard of him. So I don't think anybody except maybe people in the Middle East and some of the maybe UK people knew who you were and how good you were. And everybody else was in for a real surprise, a shock. So was it kind of cool for you knowing that nothing was expected of you? It was, like Jose and Dave Henry, the pressure was on those guys because everyone expected them to be fighting each other for a win. Nobody expected Kamal Elgargni from the UK to win. So was it cool that you knew that nobody was really thinking of you except for a few people? Most people weren't thinking, this guy's deadly, this guy could win. And then you just showed up and everyone's like, wow, who is this guy? Yeah. It had to be a cool experience for you.
Well, to be honest, it's sometimes, even now, driving in my car, it's like thinking, it did happen, isn't it? It's really like, oh, I am. Oh, no, it's not just that. It's just, in 6 months, I'm going to be at the Olympia stage.
Yeah.
It's to be honest, it's something, it's been, to me, I think I've been blessed from God. That's the thing is these things to happen, especially now, this age. For me, like, I was gonna retire. I'm thinking like, that's it. I'm not gonna compete anymore. If it didn't happen, I just wanna thinking like, even my wife, I told my wife, I said, I'm gonna stop. That's it. This year, I did the body power, and then I said, for me, I'm done. And then when the chance came to me back, when I got my pro card, I was working hard. I said, will I get to what I am? Did my shape gets back to normal? Shall I get better, or is it gonna be? Always you think maybe not. Maybe something is not gonna work right.
Yeah.
And every time I send picture to Chris, he's telling me like, "Wow, you this. Wow, every time like you even better. You even this." So I'm saying, yes, I do see myself. I'm improving, the best I've ever been. So it's like, it's happening. So when, like what I said, when I went there, nobody knows about me. So after when we did the weighing-in, we did the registration and everything. So it's like meet and greet the athletes, which is my number was my number one. My table is number one. It's Kamal Elgargni. Just sitting in my own. Nobody came to me. Nobody knows me. So Giles came to me, and you as well. You with Giles, you came a little bit because Giles is a good friend of mine. We were talking to me. So maybe a few people that they came to me, they knew me, whatever. I said, and to be honest, I said in my head, yeah, you don't know me, but I think tomorrow you're gonna know who I am.
Exactly.
So and then it did really happen. As soon as I get my tan done and everything, as soon as I walked backstage, I've never seen with backstage with David Henry and Jose and these guys with me. I never, so they was looking at me like this. So, wow, they looking at me, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah. Jose must know you because Jose, I think Guy too, aren't they both coached by Chris Aceto? Yeah,
they're coached by Chris Aceto, but the thing is, Chris Aceto, he doesn't put much picture of me. He just like, he likes to keep things the way he thinks, because he doesn't want to get upset with anyone, or Kamal is this or Kamal is that. I mean that guy, to be honest, I could give him everything, anything. That guy, he helped me a lot. He believed in me, and it's, to be honest, he did some good things to me that never does. I mean, I feel that he's got a massive heart. I really owe him a lot, a
Yeah.
lot. Even he did help me with the Arnold Classic to compete, because when the first list, the name came out, my name hasn't come up. So
Yeah.
he said to me, Kamal, your name is not there. You need to speak to Jim Mannion, see what's going on. So I did speak to Jim Mannion, and Jim Mannion spoke to the Arnold, because they don't know who's Kamal. They don't know me.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so, and then Jim spoke to them, so they asked for some pictures. I did send some pictures. When they saw my pictures, and then with the Chris and Jim Mannion spoke to them, so they really put my name there, and it's like, I think they're glad now they had me there.
So when you won, and Arnold was, Arnold did his little interview with you, it was probably the most emotional, victory speech of the whole night for me. Or actually, it was Friday night, right? So it was the whole weekend, really. I mean, you were starting to cry, because I mean, I could tell you never thought you'd be on that stage because of all the trouble you'd went through with, Santoja and everything. And here you are, 46 years old, a total unknown. No one in the U.S., aside from a few people, had any idea who you were. And you're winning the second biggest 212 title in the world, right out of the bat. And it had the emotion of it. It was really touching. And then they brought out the Libyan flag, because, and again, that had to be an emotional moment for you too, because you're representing your home nation with this big victory, and bringing honor to the country. It was cool for me, because everyone else I've seen win shows before. Everybody there, I've already seen them win shows, but yours was definitely the most emotional and the coolest thing to see of the whole weekend, I thought. I was like, this guy is so happy, and he's so appreciative of this moment. You made us feel that with you. It was a cool thing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, to be honest, it is, because what happened to me, and the thing is, the more than that, it's my first pro show. I just got my pro show, to do my first pro show, and to win my first pro show, which is not any pro show, the Arnold Classic,
Right.
and the 30th anniversary. It's unbelievable. It's something like it's not going to happen anymore. I don't know if it's going to happen anymore. So it is. I felt it big time, because I had the stress, and I had the support from, especially my wife. I don't want to let her down. She was like doing as much as she can to me. She cooks all my food. My food has to be fresh. She supported me big time. I don't want to let her down. I've got the support from my family, even the guys from back home. Like, before the show, for a week before the show, it's like they're trying to put some banners, massive banners everywhere. I said, "What are you doing, guys? That's too much for me. That's too much. That's too much for me." So I said, "You giving me more stress. Come on, don't do this anymore." But it was really, really, really nice weekend for me.
And Giles sent me on the phone a little. It was just big. They had a big celebration for you after you won over in Libya. I don't know if you were there. Were you at the celebration or?
No, because like what I said, I've got two gyms over there. I've got my little brother, my brother younger than me. He runs the gym, and I've got that. So they had celebration the same night. It's a massive celebration, and then I had to go. I mean, my dad. I wasn't gonna go a week after the Arnold, and my dad, he said to me, "No, please, Kamal, if you could come, it will be nice," because my dad, he said, even people that I don't know, they know me. They stopped me in the way. "Oh, your son, he made us very happy." After the revolution, the Libyans, they missed that happiness because of the killing each other. The problem was there with the weapons and everything.
Yeah.
It's like they can feel. He said, "You really made me proud." Normally, my daddy tells me "Oh, that's it, Kamal, that's enough. Stop competing, blah blah." But now he said to me, "You really," he was so happy for me. And when I went back last week, I was back home, so I got invited by the Prime Minister, and I've got invited by the chairman, the Ministry of Sport. So to be honest, the government, they promised me they're gonna be sponsoring me 100% for my next show, which is the Olympia. From that day, which is I had meeting with them, so they sponsored me big time. They said, "Whatever's gonna cost you, let us know how much you want." So it was to them. It was they are really happy for that winning for
So
that
that
Arnold
was,
Classic.
you posted that picture where you're shaking the hand of the Prime Minister of Libya, right?
Exactly right. Yeah, I posted that to Giles. So they invited me. They were really really happy. So like what I said, they've told me to come back again. Maybe I go back again next week to gonna make as the government. They're gonna make a party, not like my guys or from the gym or people. The government they're gonna make like a party. They're gonna give me some prize money, which is like whatever the cost of what I've spent money for the preparing for the Arnold Classic and all that. And they said we're gonna pay your coach. It sponsor me. They're gonna sponsor me for the next show, inshallah.
Because I can guarantee you, the President of the United States has never sponsored any Arnold Classic or has never been invited to the White House. It's never happened. It's never gonna happen. So yeah, these guys.
Yeah, well,
they
yeah,
like you.
it is. Yeah, to be honest, these things in Libya or any other countries, it's something big. Come on, we did something to present our country. It's why not? Why not?
Right. I want to ask because for many years, ever since bodybuilding started, I think it's been strong in the Middle East, but we never had a lot of them stayed amateurs for reasons that we've discussed already. Really, I guess because I remember like these great guys from Egypt and Iran, other countries, but they never turned pro. And now, the last few years, especially, I think it's got a lot to do with Oxygen Gym in Kuwait. But there's just been this wave of excellent Middle Eastern bodybuilders coming into the pro scene and doing very, very well. Obviously, you got Big Rami, you got Ahmad Ashkenani in the 212. You're one of the up-and-comers now for sure. And people going over from America to Kuwait to become better bodybuilders. Why do you think the Middle East is suddenly this new mecca of bodybuilding and producing so many champions and so much success?
To be honest, one of the things, Badr Budai, he is a good friend of mine. He is, to be honest, he's the gyms over there. I think they have so many different machines. They have the latest equipment. You could have mentioned any angles that you want to do, you're going to have it there. In most of the gyms, as you know, here in England or in America, like I've seen, it's not as much. They all look at it as a business. Yeah, that's enough. Maybe one or two leg extension or one of these leg curl. But you go there to these gyms, like for example, Badr Budai Oxygen Gym, maybe you will find like a 10 or 15 machine just for the hamstring or for the quads. Or it's so many different angles. And the gyms over there. So, and then when they go there, or if Badr Budai invited anyone over there, so you be treated as real. So you don't have to think about work. So they'll try to help you to give you as much as you can to be just trained, and it's different. That makes a big difference. When you're back home, if you're working, you're gonna be training, working. Then you come back, you're gonna do training, you're gonna cook your food. No, there's gonna be everything is done for you. So that does make a lot of difference.
Now, would you, if Badr said, Kamal, I want you to stay here for the last 12 weeks, 16 weeks before the Olympia, train at Oxygen Gym and represent Oxygen Gym Kuwait, would you do it at the Olympia?
Well, to be honest, Badr Budai, he's a good friend of mine. I would love. I've trained to his gym before. I'll go when I was in Qatar. I go there most of the time. I train in his gym. But with my situation, I've got my own gym. I don't work. That's what I do. That's my own. Finance-wise, I'm okay, alhamdulillah. So I don't have to. And then I've got like my trainer, my coach, Chris Asido. So I've always honor him. I've always be stuck with him. It's not that I think if I go there, it's not gonna be much different. Okay, maybe the gyms, they got more equipment. Maybe I don't know. I don't mind to go to train. I've been asked before. Asked before to go there and everything, but it's my situation, my family as well. I wouldn't leave my family alone. It's difficult for me. It's completely different. Completely different.
I'll tell you, Middle Eastern bodybuilding is becoming such a force now that even I'm starting to learn some of these phrases. Inshallah, alhamdulillah,
Inshallah, yes.
inshallah. Yeah, Ahmad Askar says that constantly.
Yeah, inshallah. I mean, without God is willing, so
Yeah.
we're not gonna go anywhere.
And what's alhamdulillah is pray, thank God.
Alhamdulillah, thank God, yes, yeah.
Okay. So here you are, you're the Arnold Classic champion. Everyone's looking at to see how you're going to do with the Olympia now. So what are your plans? We got 6 months to play with here. What are you doing between now and then? Are you taking some time off training or anything? Or what's your strategy for the Olympia?
Now, to be honest, from the night after like winning, I asked Chris to come to my room, so he came to my room, and I said to him, exactly, we're gonna start from today. What shall I do? Yeah, and I told him, what shall I do? So he told me, take 2 days, 3 days off as soon as you get back, and then we will start. And I've already started training. I'm back to my training, back into my diet, and I've always and things, always kept eating clean and everything.
Yeah.
And the only thing maybe, so I asked Chris if it's possible, if he thinks much better to be next to him, that I might 6 weeks out or 8 weeks out, I fly to Maine, which is where Chris's town, so
Yeah.
I'll stay there, and then at least he will be next to me. He can see me every day instead of sending pictures and everything. I told him, if that you think makes it better, I'm free. He said, well, I think if you can. I said, don't worry, I'm my own boss, so I can travel down there, I can go. So you just let me know. If you think it's better, we could do so. I'm gonna email him tomorrow to let me know if it's yes or no. So if he said yes, I might fly down to US about 8 weeks out to be next to him, to be with him, to train with him, to do everything like he's next to me.
In Maine. Oh boy.
In Maine, yes.
Wait till you see Maine, my friend.
God, what's in there then?
A few cows and a few people. That's about it. Sorry, Chris.
Oh God.
I'm not talking about. My son might be going to college here in a few months. I'm not talking about that.
As long as there's a gym where I train, I don't mind.
So, physique-wise, obviously you've been training for 25 years or more now. 30
Yes,
years?
yeah, 25 years.
25 years. So, I mean, what's your plan? How do you want to look any different than you did at the Arnold? Do you want to bring? Is there any different, body part-wise, anything on or condition, anything that you want to bring different to the Olympia stage that we didn't see in Ohio?
Maybe. I mean, the condition, that's number one. I have to bring the condition like what I did, maybe a little bit better. Maybe a little bit heavier, maybe 1.5, 2 kilos heavier, because I think I was 93. Maybe if I could get to 95 kilos, so I think it should be okay. But that thing is, I'll leave it up to Chris. He's the one who's going to decide, because he's got the eyes. I believe in him, so he's going to decide. Yeah.
I got to do some math now. 93 times 2.2, 204.6. So you were 93 kilos in Ohio?
Yeah, I was 6,000.
Okay, so you got a few pounds. You could come in a
Yeah,
little bit bigger, and if that's
a little bit
condition.
bigger. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I want to be with Chris. If he says yes, so I'll be with him. So I'll leave it to him. Let him worry.
Yeah.
I'll do what he says. I'll leave the rest, the stress and everything to him.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does, and he has been very good for a very long time. So I would trust him too. Well, Kamal, you've been so generous with your time. I want to thank you so much for that. Massive congratulations on your win. I had no idea who you were. Now I definitely know who you are. Everybody knows who you are in the bodybuilding world now. It's too bad it took us this long to find out who you are and how good you are, but better late than never. That's a phrase.
Exactly right.
So
anyway, thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me, for interviewing me. That was really good. Thanks for the MD as well. I'm anytime. I'll be so happy to have any time with you guys. No worries.
Yeah, I might bother you again right before the Olympia. Probably will.
No worries. Anytime.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much for the Ronline Report. This has been Ron Harris with Kamal Elgargni. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.